But if everyone is physically, if not emotionally prepared. Pathfinder! Yay! I had housekeeping stuff, which... Okay, the first thing was, I think I put waffle mix in Harsk's inventory.
Yeah, waffle mix.
I don't know if I said it does anything or not, or if it's just waffle mix. It might just be waffle mix, because that was too long ago. That was in the old times. The era of April. Technically, like, they were all consumed last session, but I went ahead and gave everybody a gumball that restores 1d4 health after you chew it for like a minute.
Okay, I was just looking at that, thinking, when did we get a gumball?
Yeah, like I threw in gumballs, like came out of the statue after you solved the gold puzzle. You guys did such a good job with the gold puzzle. I thought, like, why not have a gumball come out too? And
Cool.
I think you guys have more hero points. I mean dud points. I gave everybody another one, so everybody has like 3 to 5 of them. A lot.
Well,
Oh.
we need a lot of them, Bonnie, because we just run through them because they don't work.
They're not really functional at this point. So let's see if we can turn those dud points into hero points this time. I mean, we have high expectations, dud points. We're looking at you. I checked in on scrolls because of, I think I meant, well, we were kind of talking about it, I forgot to say the punchline. You guys found a scroll of magic missile last time, and it's true you have to actually know how to cast a magic missile to use that scroll, so it is basically just loot to sell.
Okay. It would appear that I have that, so...
I don't think any of you have the ability to cast magic missile. So it's a little bit different. Like, I think in Dungeons and Dragons, pretty much, I can't remember now. You have to at least have some arcane ability to cast spells, I think. But even if you don't know the spell, there's like a DC check, an Arcana check, to see if you can manage to read the spell successfully otherwise. But why am I talking about some other game? That's not pertinent to these interests. What else? Oh, and also a reminder that there are no blanket attacks of opportunity in this game as in other games. Just for no reason.
Okay.
No, just like to differentiate in terms of like when you're moving. There's it's like a different pattern for like approaching stuff and moving away during your turn during combat, because you don't necessarily have to worry about attacks of opportunity. That's not to say that creatures can't have some kind of feature that allows them to have reactions. But it's
So we
just
do have creature features. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
there are creature features. Some of them are late night, double creature features, but they aren't like everybody gets it. Everybody gets some. It's not like that. I think I wanted to emphasize that. I think that's why I made the notes. I wanted to emphasize that when you do things like step or stride or move away from creatures in combat, there's more wriggle room there in Pathfinder, I think. Oh, last session I was totally flummoxed trying to figure out how to unlock a door in Fantasy Grounds. Apparently you have to use the shift button to unlock a door in Fantasy Grounds on the map. Which there's like this one room that I couldn't show you that you guys had gotten into successfully because you were clever. And I couldn't figure out how to let you get in. Now at this point, I actually deleted the door and then I figured out that you could unlock the door using shift. But so there's no door anymore. But yeah, high feature I never use in homebrew. I just don't like doors, I guess. I just tell you that it's locked and unlocked. I don't bother with map stuff. And then the last thing was, enough time has passed fighting that band of kobolds and navigating that gold puzzle and traps and stuff, that the sickened condition Harsk gained from drinking from the creepy shrine water has passed. Likely the immunity to critical hits Fumbus acquired from the same water that we probably did not acknowledge during the combat if it was relevant. All those effects, enough time has passed that you guys don't have them anymore, so I've removed them from your personages.
Cool.
Okay, so last time, you guys ran into a band of kobolds that were rummaging for dried fish and treasure in this abandoned storeroom.
My fish.
A battle ensued. Mary employed some stealth there, sneaking around, hiding from stuff. Fumbus dropped some bombs, and Harsk, you tried to use the power of hugs to grapple one of the kobolds into submission and then maybe use them as a weapon. But the dice were cruel.
But then I ate the kobold, so...
You ate some kobold as well, and it didn't... I don't think it necessarily agreed with you. Or it didn't do everything you were hoped. You also invented the concept of a half-yark kobold.
That's kind of scary, but... I mean, whatever floats your boat, I don't judge.
You've beat some of the yark out of that kobold. So it's just a ya or a irk. And you ultimately were successful against your foes. You all acquired something shiny from that encounter. Mary got a +1 short sword, which added +1 to all sorts of stuff. Fumbus got a gold ring, so rich, and Harsk got that fabled item, the waffle iron.
Yeah, I will make kobold and fish waffles.
It might have little plates that have different little shapes.
I actually have a mini frying pan with a long handle that's a kitty face, so that would be cool.
Mm-hmm. I mean, come on, if this is going to be a fantasy treasure item, it's going to have fantasy-shaped waffles.
Obviously.
Right? It's nice to have a DM who gets that.
All the waffle shapes. And I guess Harsk is responsible for the flavors. Okay, so you navigated a trapped hallway, and you solved a riddle involving gold coins and scales that unlocked a little treasure alcove, in which you kind of now stand. The vault has peepholes. We're calling them peepholes. I think Harsk called them something else. Or even called them something else. That allow you to peer in on the next chamber, which appears to be very large, has some columns in it, some different platforms from what you can tell from what little vantage you have. And it does seem to have some kobolds on guard, talking about their boss's new pet and confirming that they have been part of stealing the fish factory's stores.
Not cool.
Now, there is a door leading to this room off a kind of hallway that is adjunct to this alcove. And the door is closed. But as you're leaving this treasure room, you notice that there is a lever near the chest you were just looking at, that you got your waffle mix and some kind of gem and that magic missile scroll out of. There's a lever that has heretofore been unused. Anyone who is trained in crafting, make a crafting check.
Oh, hang on.
I'll say thievery too.
I have good crafting.
I think thievery applies to this situation as well.
Oh, okay.
Tell her out.
Oh, that nearly landed on a 20 then.
These are all good numbers. These are all numbers of success. So all of you are like, that lever does not work anything in this room. You're all pretty certain that lever, the mechanism seems to be tied. You think it's probably some kind of trap device. And you think it's something, the mechanics are leading into the room to the north. Not to the door to the north. But you think it's something going under the floor to the room itself.
And is that where the kobolds were?
In the room where the kobolds are. But you can't tell precisely how this trap is triggered or what it does.
I could try to test it out with my face, but that's not worked out well for me in the past.
The lever has two positions, basically. It's in one position now, and it can be moved into another position.
Should we try pulling it?
I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Could die.
Oh, never say that to your dungeon master. Very dangerous.
Well, talk amongst yourselves.
Shall we pull it?
Yes, pull it.
Who
Might as well.
shall I pull it? Who's got most hit points?
That's a good question. Looks like Mary has the most hit points.
Yeah,
What,
mine's
50?
15.
Oh, wait, you're...
Mine's
Oh, I'm looking
15
at
as well.
initiative. Never mind. So I guess I have the most hit points. Okay. I will pull the lever.
All right.
Pull!
All right, you pull the lever, and the lever is now in the second position.
Is it
We
doing
have-
ballet?
oh,
You do not immediately explode.
That's always a positive when pulling mysterious levers.
Everybody do a perception check.
ah,
Huh,
I'm doing
my
well
perception didn't roll.
today.
That's weird. My perception didn't. I dragged it over there and it sort of blumped around a little and didn't roll.
That's a moonshine cherry roll, is that?
It is. If only I was using moonshine cherries in this game. All of you can barely, like, with that perception check, you can just barely make that there is, like, some adjustments happening when you move the lever. Like, you can tell that something is being armed underneath the floor. And I'm saying armed because Fumbus with a natural 20, you think you just actually armed whatever this device is.
Oh, so we go boom.
You're still not quite sure what it controls, though.
Right, so we think it's armed something, but do I suspect it's armed something in that room then, where the kobolds are, or
Yes.
do I not have any? Yes.
You all feel very confident that that whatever the mechanism is that these controls are tied to, it is in the room to the north of you where the kobolds are.
Okay, and I can't remember. I've got a vague recollection of last time there was a way we could see into that room, or is that not right?
Yeah,
'Cause the map doesn't show
there's
that.
little peepholes.
All right.
Peepholes in the treasure room.
I totally heard that as there's
little.
little peoples in the treasure room, and it
Peoples for your eyeballs. Peoples for your evils. And through the little gaze points, what you see is almost like this straight shot through this open, it's like an open chamber with a fairly high roof. It looks to extend at least 40 feet in the distance from wall to wall. And it seems to kind of have outlets to either side. You do not see any kobolds through those holes, but you hear them talking. And they seem to be talking to the east of you, from your right ear, you know? And there also seems to be some columns kind of, or like, you know, stone corners that kind of protrude into this chamber that kind of make it, you feel like it's probably cross or plus shaped overall. I mean, it's not like you guys can't see the map, okay? I just forgot there's no fog of war, is there?
Yeah, all I can see is the guy with the table that we passed.
That's right, because they have line of sight on this map. So I guess I am describing stuff to you. So that's what you can see through these peoples.
Okay. What do we want to do then? Do we want to go in the room?
I
what we're
am
even
taking a
doing.
large sniff to see if I smell food coming from the direction of the room. Is there like a sniff skill check?
Survival.
That makes a lot of sense.
I'm gonna have you're tracking fish. Well,
make it up for last time.
The smell of fish with the 24, the smell of fish is there, but it is a very, it is the very low soul note of the fragrance. the first note, the overwhelming fragrance that you're getting right now is kobold.
Either way, I'm gonna eat.
But you feel like it's kobolds who have been eating fish.
Even better. Meal within a meal.
I mean, so
So if we just potentially arm something in that room,
yeah. I mean, we could go in, but we just got to make sure we don't trigger off whatever it is that we've just armed. But we might spot whatever it is that we've armed and push the kobolds towards it. I mean, do we want to just go in and get them anyway because they're the ones that are stealing the fish, and then Hath can eat them?
well, I guess it's the only way to go, isn't it?
No, look at Hath. You hungry, big guy?
I'm always hungry.
Okay. So, what is your intention now? You're gonna go into the room to the north.
Yeah. I mean, we need to confront the kobolds, so I'm thinking that. But I'm thinking that if we can see whatever it is that lever is triggered, and we can maybe push the kobolds towards it. And then if it goes, well, I don't know. I mean, we don't even know what it's going to do we? So
You don't know exactly what's gonna do, and you don't know where it is at this point.
no.
You just know. You just know it's not the door to that room.
Okay, I was going to say because for all we know, we've just set off armed a trap on the door. But if we know that, then we could pull the lever again and disarm it.
It's like the mechanics weren't leading anywhere towards where the door is. Or they bypassed the door.
Shall we go in?
Are you going to be sneaky as you go in?
I always want to be sneaky.
I mean, I'd like to try, but I mean, would they? Well, I suppose if they're not looking at the door, we could potentially sneak in. Oh, what have I got?
From peering through the peepholes, from peeping, you get a sense that the door is going to be at least 20 feet or more away from the sound of where you heard kobolds.
Can we tell if the door will open without squeaking? Does it look rusty?
This is when I'm trying to freakishly remind myself what actual skills are available to a human. Not to a human, but to like a person, to a creature, to a player.
Well, with thievery, I'm proficient in that. That looks of it.
Yeah, I was trying to decide if it's like thievery, would it be crafting, would it be just perception to like examine the door? Yeah, let's do thievery since you're trying to like, do some stealthy shit.
Okay.
Trying to improve your stealthiness. Okay. So you examine the door for your ease of opening without being noticed. And you see that you feel like, oh yeah, the hinges look a little bit dry. Like this door has not gotten a lot of traffic.
I have some oil. Can I use it on the hinges?
Yeah, you guys have some oil, I think, some little flasks of oil for different reasons to like fuel lanterns and things. But you grease up the hinges and now you feel pretty secure that you could open this door without creaking. You just have to not trip over each other.
Looks at Hask.
How about tripping over my own 2 feet?
Mind you, I think we all fell off that ledge earlier.
Yeah.
So
I think somebody tripped and brought the other 2 with them. Because everybody rolled pretty low.
Oh dear. Okay. Should we try and sneak in then?
You grease up the door and then you pry it open, and smoothly, slowly, you open the door. And I'm going to open the door in Fantasy Grounds, theoretically.
Oh, I fell in.
Okay, now the door is open. And
Wow.
you can see more of the room. So there are these 4 columns, central. And as Fumbus, as you first peer around the corner, because you're acting like the expert thief in this party. I'm just laughing to myself because Mary's getting absolutely no respect.
Well,
The-
she's tall and snacky.
The dice haven't respected her. Fumbus hasn't respected her. And she's just standing in the middle, like tapping one boot, like, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see how you do, little green dude.
Well, I'm fantastic.
And you peer, and you're like, oh, these columns are in the way. I can't really see any kobolds. But you can still hear them coming from the east.
Then, all right. So if I'm the one who stuck my head in, I will withdraw my head from the room and turn to the other two.
That's just like you haven't really technically stepped in the room yet. You've just peered around the corner, and unfortunately, the columns of stone in this room are blocking any immediate view of kobolds. But you can still hear them.
All right. So I'll turn to the other two and say, "You can't see them. There's all these columns in there, too big. But I can hear kobolds that way," and I point east. Yeah, I mean, do we want to use the columns and just try and sneak closer?
Sure.
Yeah, you feel like you can use the columns as cover. And yeah, you definitely have the sense that the room is like at least 30 by 30. Maybe a little bit longer than that.
Okay, I'll look at Mary and go, "You go first."
Okay.
So are the columns wide enough to hide a dwarf?
It's all disappeared now. Can't see all.
Yeah. Now here's this weird thing about elves and Pathfinder, is apparently they don't see as well in dim light as other things.
Really?
They have low light vision as opposed to dark vision.
Oh, maybe I should go first then. I've got dark vision.
Which I don't totally understand that yet. But yeah, Mary does not have as good a vision as Fumbus in the dark.
Okay, I go first.
I think Hearts has better vision too. I think dwarfs have dark vision.
Oh, surprisingly? Well, I guess that's not surprising because we do a lot of mining. Yes, I have dark vision.
But I guess there was some choice made that no, elves are just too cool. Let's make sure they can't see anything. So it is a little bit dark. So Fumbus, you're standing behind a column, which means you can't see anything because you're behind the column.
So if I move slightly to the east,
Let me double check something and see what you'd see.
Okay, so is it those dark grey squares? Those are the columns. It's very confusing, this fog of war stuff.
It is. That's why I don't usually use it, because it gives you such like little teeny slivers of the map, and I find it harder to track what the hell I'm doing. Okay, so you step forward and you're hidden behind a column. You still cannot see these kobolds. It's like these stupid columns are in your way. However, you could peer around. I will also say you can make a perception check.
Let me do that. Oh, now it fails. You know what? Let me use a hero point.
Okay.
Yes!
Woo!
Totally worth it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yay!
Fumbus, you look around. Not only do you look, peering around the side of the column, but you like peer around the room at large. And I don't know how to like reveal everything to you. Except, oh, I know what I can do. I can share something with you. This is like the actual because with that score, and honestly, I'm being a little bit Dungeons and Dragons-y here. I apologize. Because critical success is supposed to be success plus 10, and I think 23 doesn't actually supposed to count as a critical success, but I like to treat a natural 20 as a critical success, and I don't know if that's wrong or right, but I'm going to do what I want to do.
You are the DM and you are allowed to do whatever you want to
Yeah.
do.
So
Exactly.
I'm doing it, and I'm going to share this little, you get this like uncanny perception, since I can't just get rid of line of sight, because it would probably take too long, and that's a fantasy grounds ignorance problem. So you suddenly get this understanding, like the numbers start descending from the ceiling, like zeros and ones, and you're like, oh yeah, I understand the matrix now. And you can tell that there are 3 other kobolds in this room.
Oh, I see. So the dark grey that I can see is not the actual columns, it's like part of the floor.
Yeah, the central floor is kind of like a different color. There's like an
Right.
inlay that's within kind of like the barrier of the 4 post columns that are in the center of the room. And you can tell to the east that it seems to go down, there's a flight of stairs, and the kobolds are currently kind of congregated around the stairs, and there is one kobold that seems to be doing shenanigans, seems to be working on something. And here's the formal description, which I skipped reading before. It says the door opens with a creak, but you took care of that creak. There is no creak. Revealing a massive chamber that looks like an audience hall. On the far side, a broad set of stairs leads up to where a throne might have once been. Pillars support the high ceiling, and the ruined tatters of once decorative banners still hang from them. A decorative tile pattern centered in the middle of the room shows through the grime coating the floor. Likewise, that natural 20, you come to the realization that the mechanics in the other room for a trap, you get an insight that the trap is set in the western wall, where that S is right now. And you figured out that the floor in front of you, in the rectangle directly in front of you, and like in the picture I shared, which I will drag into the stream for identification purposes. That rectangle, that's pressure plates in the floor that you have realized. And now that the trap is armed, anyone who steps on those pressure plates are going to set off the trap. That's what Fumbus has realized.
Uh-oh.
And you can see the 3 kobolds now. Well, I guess you can't technically see because of line of sight, but they should be visible on the map if line of sight wasn't such a bitch. But in that little shared portion, you can see where they are at this moment. I will say that the one that's pictured as farther to the east, it's not necessarily that far to the east. He's messing around on the stairs. And
Okay.
the other guy who's actually on the stairs is just standing there kind of being guardy, and he's jibber-jabbering to the one more to the north.
Who I suspect is behind the pillar I'm going to pee. That's what it looks like on the picture. Okay, then I guess I go back out and tell the guys. So, there's 3 kobolds. They are over there. One's northeast. There's some stairs to the east, and there's one on the stairs, and then there's another one a bit further past him, and it looks like there's some stairs further down. And we set off some traps, and I point to the S.
Or like you haven't set off the traps yet. You just know that it's armed, and
Yeah,
you know the area that will trigger it.
So I'm wondering if there's any way we can lure one of the kobolds over there. What do we think?
I heartily approve of this idea.
Okay. Hath, do you have any fish? Because we know they like fish.
I'm pretty sure Harsk would have fish. Well, wait a minute, we're talking Harsk here. He might have eaten them all.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I don't
Or
see any fish in my inventory, but that doesn't mean there is not fish in my inventory.
Honestly, I feel like the way Harsk has been so far, he would not want to share the fish.
no.
That's, honestly, that's that would be very on brand for Harsk.
Could we not share
I
something?
want
that
to
was,
beat this dungeon, but do I really have to give up my fish to do it?
Could we not share something less tasty like broccoli?
Yes.
I mean, the
Not
other
that I
option
wouldn't eat some good broccoli now and then. It's not fish, mind you. But yeah, if I gotta give up something, I'd rather give up broccoli than fish.
Why not ask me for my waffle mix while you're at it?
No, I don't even want to go there. Do not take my waffle mix.
Take everything, precious.
My precious.
We could stand in front of the plates, see if the charges, and then dodge to the side.
Yeah, but what if it's like an area trap?
That is an extremely good point. Yes.
I mean, you feel like it is like that thing I shared with you. That dotted line is the area of the pressure plates. Like,
the whole of it.
That whole floor area is booby trapped.
Oh right, no, sorry, I thought you meant just to the west.
Just the rim? No, it's any of those floor things. You step on it, you could set off a pressure plate thing and set off the trap.
Well, that changes things considerably.
It does, because if we could lure them onto it and then set it off. Oh no, they'd set it off, wouldn't they?
Do another crafting or thievery check. Anyone who is trained in one of those things.
No, there's someone on my mouse cord.
Yeah, they can roll too if they're trained.
Something in thievery,
I think cats are trained.
+8 million.
She's been stealing korma, so I think that means trained.
She's been stealing korma, cough drop wrappers. Yeah.
But little, so she only rolled 6.
I think we need a picture, but anyway.
Mary, you have another insight about the mechanisms, and you think that it is also a time-operated thing, that once set off, it'll probably recharge periodically.
Joy. Can we go back and turn the lever off the other way?
Certainly, at any point you could turn the lever off. But you get this insight that not only is the floor pressure plated, that it's not a one and done. So if someone steps on that area while it's armed, it's going to trigger the trap, and that it will actually reset over time. You're not quite sure how long that time is. I mean, it's not an instantaneous thing. You think because of the scale, it would be more than a round, more than 6 seconds, but less than an hour.
Okay. So what have we got?
That narrows it down. Not at all.
Are we still going to go and try and get the kobolds to stand on it, or?
I mean, we could stand behind that pillar in the southwest pillar, and make some kind of eerie noise and see if they come to investigate.
Got any beans? I got your ear noise right here.
I'm trying to think. Beans and oatmeal. I want to say, Mary, do you have some kind of particular skill having to do with distractions or something?
Where would that be?
I feel like there was something, and I can't remember.
If it's a deception skill, or do you mean like an actual thief type skill?
I thought it was an actual thief, like a feature she had or something, but
let me see if I can find her sheet.
Sneak attack.
Oh, look at this character thing, trap spotter that we haven't been using.
Yeah.
I love how I'm letting you use your character skills. I don't know. I could have sworn there was something having to do with creating distractions, but
Hang
I
on,
don't-
I'm finding a sheet. Class abilities, racket, thief. What is racket?
Surprise attack. I'm a
Striking
sorcerer.
on
this is what I'm thinking of. It has to do with subtle theft. If you create a diversion, you get a bonus to stealing things. Never mind. I thought there was some kind of extra bonus you had to creating diversions or whatever.
I mean, you do have a grappling hook according to this, but
But yeah, you guys can totally try to do a deception and create a diversion to try to deceive these kobolds into stepping in a place where it's booby trapped.
do we get a sense, either myself or Marisol, based on previous rolls, if there's a certain weight limit required to trigger it?
Ahem.
No, I'm no. What I'm thinking is, according to, I think Marisol's got some caltrops.
I've got some what?
Caltrops, which I think are little metal things.
They're like little foot things, like you would use, I think, to help climb. It's like what you jam into a stone face to be your little footsies.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what a caltrop is.
You're right. What am I
Yeah.
thinking of then? What am I thinking?
Ball
Little metal thing.
bearings. You're
Ball
thinking of ball
bearings.
bearings.
Bollocks. Okay,
Yeah.
so Fantasy Grounds just crashed on me and it won't let me back in.
Oh, let me kick you out. Oh wait, you just got kicked out,
Okay.
so it should let you back in now. Well, you have a lot of things in your inventory, all of you. I mean, just looking at Harsk has chalk and soap.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
these are
just
all.
thinking
I
something we
ate some
can
of each of those.
throw.
You ate some of them.
It wasn't very good, but I didn't want to starve.
I have an emerald that we're only going to sell.
That might get their attention.
Ooh, that sounds
Because
shiny.
They like the shinies. Do they not? Shall we try chucking an emerald in the middle and see what happens?
That's a good idea.
My D&D self, every time I hear shiny, I'm kobold voices in my head going, "Oh, shiny!"
Yeah, shall we try it? See what happens? What do you want me to roll?
It's a pretty nice one. Well, what are you gonna do? You're gonna just throw it into the throw it,
The middle
yeet it.
the area.
I would say just do a do you have like anything ranged?
Ranged. I have ranged dagger.
All right. Just do a ranged little roll to see if you land in the right area with the emerald. I'm gonna have you roll two things. One is that. Okay, that's fine. It wasn't high roll. A 12 is sufficient. I was like DC 10ing it, you know. But also roll a deception. Woo! So 19x is excellent. As you you toss this emerald into the center of the floor, I will like draw. Or actually you can draw. Where do you want it? Where did you want it to land?
Oh,
Just mark a
Well-
square on the floor.
Mine's a red.
mine's black.
I don't know, I'm just
Say
laughing
that
at myself.
there.
Okay. Which is fine. I don't think it matters. I was just giving you the autonomy, like just to make sure that you were throwing it somewhere. Where it actually had effect. And this is where it is. So you throw it, and there's this little like tink tink, but because of your deception skill, you manage to throw it just so that there doesn't seem to be any other sound of your movements. And you manage to like throw the emerald just so that it catches like a glint of torchlight that is like randomly placed along the walls of this chamber, and the emerald glimmers just so in that firelight, so that it is especially alluring to kobold eyes from a distance. And you hear this immediate like, hey, shiny! What was that? What's that over there? And you hear the voices conversing. Oh, I don't know what that is. Oh, that's shiny. Let me go see. And you hear another voice that's a little bit like,
Oh, shiny. Oh, fetch it for me.
That one
and
sounds big.
and there seems to be two smaller kobolds. And I'm going to share a little picture of the kobolds that step forward.
Oh, little baby kobold.
They're
Oh.
smaller and they're blue and they're pretty, but they also like shiny things. And both of them, one of them steps up from where it was waiting kind of slightly out of sight. You could just like see like little ears if you peered around the column. And it hops up on the floor, eager to aim for those shinies. And another one kind of steps out from a column and starts heading for those shinies. The third one stays at the bottom of the stairs and still seems to be fitzing around on those stairs with something.
Can we see what it's fitzing around with?
It's blocked
Can
by the descending stairs, but as soon as these kobolds step forward and really get onto that floor space, your ruse is successful, and suddenly the trap is triggered, and a barrage of spikes start shooting out from the western wall. And
we need to duck?
You don't need to duck because you're like still hiding in the hallway watching it all unfold. But you hear like
Okay,
this,
good.
but you see these spikes just come shooting out of the wall, flying past you. And now I'm going to roll for the kobolds to see if they manage to avoid getting super hit. Okay, that's one fail. Oh wait, I rolled for the wrong person, but hey. Okay, that one's Oh, they open the same. Oh, never mind. I keep opening the wrong thing. All right, they both fail.
Oh no.
They both fail. So the spikes come flying out. It's not even like spikes. It's like these spears that just come shooting at high speed toward these two kobolds.
Prepare to be dinner.
One of them takes 7 damage. And the other takes 5. And you both hear this like,
Excellent.
I envy your kobold voice.
and the other is like, the floor is killing us! And then one of the other was like, I will crawl forth the shiny. And one of them still starts moving forward towards the shiny. But but you can't quite see them, but you hear like this drama, like this sound like thump, thump. But
you don't give kudos for the dedication.
But you hear
imagine like watching the movie version of this with the closed captions and hearing like squishy, squeaky kobold noises.
That's exactly what it is. You hear this squishy, squeaky kobold noises. They've been pummeled by spears, but they're still going for that shiny because it's glistening so beautifully the way that Mary threw it. Now what do you do?
I would like to lob a flask of fire at him.
Okay.
Corvair fried kobold.
So, what do you, where are you moving to?
Okay, so it's
'Cause-
kind of hard to see where the pillar is on there, so
I will make you do a stealth check to see if you can lob that without them seeing you.
okay, if I stand there, am I behind the
You're
pillar?
behind a pillar right now. But my idea is you're gonna have to at least like move one of your little Fumbus arms around the pillar to throw. And I think you only have a range of 20, so I think you can only aim there's one that's like within range.
Yeah, the closest one. Oh, great.
So you can lob a bomb at them, but it will trigger initiative at that point because they'll spot you. So you lob your bomb. So go ahead and lob whatever bomb you're going to lob.
I would, but I can't see the kobold anymore to target him. So...
You can move. Just go ahead and move forward one
Alright.
for the sake of this is your arm coming around with a little peeping, peering around the column to throw. And you hit the kobold with the thing, but the other one at the other end is like, intruder! And everybody roll initiative, which is your perception. Except for I think, Mary, you can do stealth because you have been sneaking around.
I think it's the same.
But you will have, at this point, you have sneak attack on your first attack. Because you've been stealthy, because you're currently hidden. And roll your damage on this kobold, Fumbus. And you throw a bomb at this kobold. It explodes. What kind of bomb was it? Alchemist fire. There's this burst of fire, flame, and this kobold that was pretty much kind of humping, crawling forward toward the shiny in the middle of the floor, just is enveloped in this burst of flames and then croaks on the floor. And meanwhile, the kobold down the end, the other one, his fellow soldier, who is also injured, is like, yeah, intruder, yeah. And the other guy, the other kobold who's fiddling around the stairs, is alerted to attention. I'm going to shift over to some combat music, and I think Mary, you're up to you're allowed to move next.
Okay.
But I wanted to do something. Oh, that was loud.
Yeah. It's the roar.
How big are these kobolds?
It's a roar of rage from the guy who didn't get injured. And who knows there's a shiny. Yeah, Mary. What do you do, Mary?
I don't know, because
I look over and go, 1 down, 2 to go.
And I'm going to remove that guy. He's a bloodstain now.
right. From where I stood, then can I see number 2 and to throw a dagger at?
You cannot. You can
Nice.
see Jack and shit. Because you're just barely in the room and there's columns kind of in the way. There's a column directly between you and any vision of number 2. You should be able to see him now. I mean, there's that low light thing, but I'm saying that there are some torches that are lighting this room. Now, that might not be good for you, because Fantasy Grounds is probably treating you like you have low light vision.
Right.
Let me see. Let me turn something on. Oh, you're so screwed. Oh!
Words you never want to hear your DM say. You're so screwed.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
No, I feel like, you know, if this wasn't like, if this was up to me, I would like do something about it, so I probably am going to do something about that. but you cannot see them because of the way the map is for you. I'm gonna say just roll an attack roll, and I'll apply the damage to them.
Right, bear with me.
All right, a 21 hit. Okay, so you do 4 damage, and wait, are you doing your damage to yourself? What is happening here?
I just did it in the. Oh, I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't.
Yeah, like
roll it.
it
Yes,
applied
you did.
damage. It applied damage to you, and you are not damaged. I mean, I don't know if Fantasy Grounds is trying to tell you something that you're damaged. What?
I am damaged.
It's very personal, Fantasy Grounds.
I just rolled it in the thing. Maybe I've got myself targeted or something.
I think you do have yourself targeted. Let me see if I can remove. No, I can't see. Oh, I don't know. This is weird. But I'm just checking something. You threw a dagger? Is that what you did?
Yeah.
So you had 4 base damage. Okay, 3 plus. That should actually be 7 damage. And that is enough to drop this other kobold. You don't even need sneak attack damage to kerflunk them.
Oh, kerflunk is a good word.
Okay.
They're dropped. You still have 1 action left because you used 1 to move to stride forward and another to throw a dagger at the first kobold. You have 1 more.
Am I still sneaky?
I'm gonna do something. Let's see. Roll a stealth check. No. The other kobold has seen you at this point.
Okay.
So you would have to actively try to hide, take cover, and hide.
Okay, so that can be an action, yeah?
So for an action, I would say you have to take sneak as an action. Or actually, I don't think you can do that till next turn. You can hide behind a column at this point, and next action you can try to like sneak and become undetected.
Okay.
You just failed that stealthiness that would have made you become undetected to that kobold.
Okay, yeah. So can I hide behind a column then, yeah?
Yep. And that's you?
Yes.
This other kobold, he does look fancier than the other kobolds that you have now killed. He also looks undamaged. He finishes whatever he was doing on the stairs, and he backs away toward the stairs, and is kind of like hiding behind a smaller column now. And he's just readying himself for something. You don't know what. Fumbus, it is your turn.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to be standing on there. Guess I'm sort of stood in the same place as Mary. I take it I'm not in sneak, so can I sneak?
Yeah.
Or attempt to anyway, hang on.
Do a stealth check.
I'm doing so. Oh no.
Yeah. You failed to be sneaky.
Okay. What can I do?
And that's the passive perception of the creature you're trying to sneak from is higher than 15.
Can I create a diversion to potentially direct the kobold in the wrong area?
Sure. Do a deception check. DC 16.
Oh, my stats are... Oh!
Ooh! Just okay. What form of deception? What kind of diversion are you doing? Describe it to me.
I wanna try and make some kind of noise so that he thinks that we're to the north rather than here. Maybe he thinks that we've done some kind of dash. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do that though. I'm trying to see if I've got anything. What do the bombs do?
You have all sorts of bombs and they all explode.
Yeah, well, I've got some of these just a bomb. It's not an acid flask or the alchemist fires.
That's just like a generic entry for a bomb for throwing it and targeting something.
So if I threw that,
because I did add spells for some of your other bombs down below for your alchemist fire and for your acid, and I think for your elixir of healing.
yeah, got those.
But that entry doesn't actually do anything. It's just for attacking in case we don't have it defined in another way, whatever you're doing.
Okay. You know, I've said that, and I'm not sure I've got anything that can actually accomplish this.
I'll say, make a crafting check, and if you DC 15 for rigging out of miscellaneous stuff in your pockets, something that you can just kind of sling over in that direction to look like some kind of cloaked dummy of some sort.
Well.
All right.
Okay, she said cloak dummy. I am checking to see if I am wearing a cloak.
You try to rig together like some kind of little projectile device that looks like say, you know, when somebody is like trying to film someone falling off of a building and they just use a dummy instead. You're trying to rig that kind of apparatus that you could just kind of fling over the opposite side of the room to make it look like somebody ran over there. But you realize that, you know, halfway through that this just really just looks like a broom with or a mop with a tablecloth wrapped around it, and it's not going to do the trick.
Okay.
Kobolds
Okay.
are like, worst maid ever.
Not wrong.
So that's 2 of your actions. You have 1 more possibility.
Got a speed of 25. That's south of the other pillar.
You have visibility of that kobold, but he also has visibility of you now. So you don't have cover behind that pillar.
Oh, shit.
You need to be like 1 diagonal to the northwest to have cover.
Like there.
Okay, so you stride forward and take cover behind another one of the pillars, but moving closer to your quarry.
Yeah.
Alrighty, That's you. It's Harst's turn.
What's wrong, push the talkie? Also, let me get the cat off my mouse. So, can I slink up here and hide behind Mary?
Yes, you can totally use one action to stride forward and move behind Mary.
Can I see a kobold?
You can just barely see a kobold, but they are behind partial cover. They're under light cover.
If they're under light cover, can I throw a hatchet at them?
You can throw a hatchet at them, but it is slightly harder.
So I use the +2, not the +6?
No. Do you have the buttons? Because it's basically -1 to hit them.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking at this and it says +2 +2 or +6 +2 -2.
That's your like normal like throwing. So you would use like the +6, but it's actually really +5 in this instance.
Okay. What button am I looking
So
for?
maybe just roll that dice. Modifier buttons that usually are at the bottom left. But if you don't want to do that, you can just roll into the chat box and I will adjust it. We'll adjust it manually. All right, so it's actually a 14 instead of 15. And what is the armor class? That is not enough to hit. So you throw your hatchet, and it kind of clatters to the ground below the stairs.
Well,
missing,
that's
not
unfortunate.
falling short of the kobold.
I think that I'm going to hold for now and just see what's going to happen next.
Okay. And you likewise, you were behind partial cover for that kobold in terms of it trying to attack you at the moment. Top of the round, Mary, it is your turn.
Right, okay. So, can I try to be stealthy?
Yes. And you've gotten a little bit quiet again.
How is that now?
Good. Yes, you can try to stealth. So roll a stealth check to see if you can become undetected.
No.
No.
That's so close.
Yeah. It's like you didn't realize that Harsk is right behind you, so as you're beginning to like be sneaky around this column, you trip over him.
Oh, dear.
You're not the first, you won't be the last.
Right, okay, so well, I don't know what to do really. I guess I can move. So, remind me again how big are these squares? 5 foot, yeah?
Yeah.
Speed 30, so I can move.
Diagonal, every other diagonal counts as 10, I think. I have a diagram somewhere, but I'm not willing to look it up.
Just don't step into the middle of it.
Yeah, look, at some point that's going to reset. You're not quite sure how long. You could use you could use some kind of like recall knowledge or like studying kind of roll or crafting roll or thievery roll, crafting or thievery, to see if you can detect whether or not that trap is reset yet.
Well, I'm just going to avoid it, so you know.
Because like for right now, as far as you know, it hasn't reprimed, but it will take some like actual studying to try to figure out if it's actually dangerous right now or not.
Well, but I mean, if we just, avoid it, Do you think?
It depends on if you want to get up on close to the other guy. Because it'd be quicker, wouldn't it? But
Alright, I'll do a check thingy then. What do you say?
crafting or thievery?
Thievery or crafting. All right. From what you can tell, you don't think it is reset.
Right.
And you think you're good for at least another round.
Do we have dash as a thing in this game? Or?
You can stride twice. I think is the answer to that question.
Right, how many actions
Oh.
have I had?
Well, it depends. If you take it as she didn't move and then she did the crafting check, you could go straight north. But if we're going with you did actually move and then I talked you into checking.
Yeah, I mean, we can redact that. And your question about like dashing and stuff like that, I feel like I need to like look this further into the rules of how movement versus stride works in combat, but I'm pretty sure. Oh my god, I feel like I'm like failing now. There's a chart here that's probably easy for me to look it up. Cause now that you're saying something, I'm like, oh fuck, you're supposed to be able to move and striding is extra. Yeah, I think you get to move, and if you want to move more, that's just using an extra action to move your speed again. So you still have movement. I think I've been misdoing that this combat.
Right, okay,
So you still have like 30 feet you could like move somewhere, even if you like had moved up to join Fumbus. You could still run to the other side of the room.
Okay.
Something.
So it's not letting me move anywhere now.
Because the column's in your way. I think.
The map's gone black.
If you've clicked on Mary's token, the map is probably black.
There. So can I move there?
Oh, as you move there, make a reflex saving throw.
Where's the reflex save things?
And it will be +1 for you because there's a trap there.
Oh.
And
That seems
you
about
Skip straight past it.
You unerringly jump out of the way as you realize on the stairs what the kobold had been doing was setting little snare traps on the stairs. And just before you step down, and just before it triggers, you realize that it's there, and you dodge out of the way. The trap goes off, but you do not take any damage because you've had a critical success in avoiding it.
Ka-ching.
And let me get rid of that trap. And you also realize that there are traps. The rest of the stairs are trapped.
Right, I tell Fumbus and Hask.
So beside you, there's some little traps here if anyone steps in those squares.
Right. So I think that's pretty much me done now, isn't it?
That is you. And you're done. I think that's 3 things.
I think it's more than 3 things, to be fair.
But you had movement too. I'm just like so confused. But we'll call it a turn.
Yep.
The kobold is up, and the kobold steps up 1 to the top of the stair, so it's straight on facing you and no longer under cover. And it throws a spear at you. And it hits you with a 26.
Ooh.
You take 3 damage. I mean, wait, you take more than 3 damage? You take some damage. You take 5 damage. Am I falling apart? I think I am. And then the kobold, seeing that you have spotted its traps, it says, "Ah, bring it!" And it starts darting down some stairs out of sight.
Chicken.
And you hear it kind of yarking as it goes.
So it does a chicken. Haskell go pounding after it.
I'm following the yeah.
Fumbus!
I just scared the kitten.
It is you. You are it.
Okay. So Mary's told me there's traps on the stairs, yeah?
Yeah, she shouted that the stairs are trapped. Yeah, you look at her standing opposite side of the stairs. She's like gesturing madly, like, look at it. It's obviously trapped.
I've got feats tools. Does that mean I could try to disarm it?
You totally could.
There you go, trying to be the bloody rogue again.
Look, it's not my fault.
You can totally do a
didn't know.
thievery. You can do a thievery check and see if you disarm those puppies. But there's also, you're on a little bit of a ledge. You could just jump down. No, but you tried to disarm the trap that's closest to you, and a 7 unfortunately is a failure, especially when you roll a natural 1. That's a critical failure. The DC of disarming this trap was a 17, so any way you slice it, it is a critical failure. So the trap explodes.
Hero point.
Okay, you can hero point that. Hero point! Alright. You do not succeed in disabling it, but you do not take critical failure damage. Which is good, because you would have taken double damage from the trap. Instead, you just take... Oh, wait, you've set it off. Now make a reflex saving throw. I'm sorry.
That's fine. Hang on.
Or actually, I'm lying. I'm totally lying. Because it's not a critical failure, the trap doesn't explode. You just don't disarm it. So it's still there. It's still trapped.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm like trying to wrap my brain around these different stages of success and failure.
Okay. Well, I've done a move. I've tried to disarm the trap.
You tried to disarm it.
So...
You failed, but you didn't set off the trap. And so that's one of your actions. What you've moved, you've done one of your actions. You have 2 actions left. You could stride further after the kobold. You could try to disarm a trap again. You could, I don't know, sit and cry as a free action.
Yeah. let me try the trap again.
Okay. Oh! This time you were successful.
Yay!
Choo-choo! Oh. So, you wiggle around, you figure out where you didn't jiggle it the right direction, and then ding! You disarm the trap, and it kind of springs apart into a collection of coils and leather and metal bits and a bunch of little sharp, nasty-looking spikes. But it is now harmless.
Does any of the stuff that falls out of it look edible?
Well, you can't tell. You're across the room. But I think Fumbus probably thinks it looks like it could hurt you.
Oh, I don't like food that hurts.
But, I mean, it could potentially be something he could make a gadget out of if he felt like it. He could maybe craft something out of it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Can I take it to tinker with?
You can, shove a miscellaneous bunch of sharp coiled bits and wire and leather and metal into your bag.
I mean,
to
I've
sort
got a
out later.
bomb. I can make a dirty bomb with it.
Yeah, a shrapnel or something.
Yep. That's nasty.
Now,
Alright,
2/3 of the stairs are untrapped.
so I'm gonna shout back to Hask. The edge is clear. Just avoid the middle bit, and I'm just gonna jump down. But I'm not going down the stairs by myself. So I will wait there for everyone else.
All right, it is Harsk's turn.
I can see no kobolds, correct?
Yeah, like if you peer out from behind the column, you see there's still an emerald in the middle of the floor. There's no kobolds except the dead ones, and you see Mary on the stairs, kind of gesticulating wildly about traps and otherwise, and like giving gestures to Fumbus about what are you doing, and you hear Fumbus call, stay away from the middle, keep to the edges on the stairs.
Where is that axe I threw that hatchet? Was it whatever I threw earlier? Where is that?
It's in front of Fumbus, like between
Okay.
Fumbus and Mary.
So I would like to get over there and carefully avoiding the trap. I would like to retrieve my. I can't remember if it was an axe or a hatchet.
It's a hatchet.
Hatchet. I would like to go retrieve my hatchet for starters.
Okay, using your movement, you get to about here using your
Okay.
movement, I'd say, and you can use one action to stride to get to where your hatchet is.
Okay.
And that's retrieve. So you're like here, and you pick up your hatchet.
Yep.
You've avoided the trap. At this point, like Mary's like, oh yeah, the emerald's still on the floor on the other side of the room.
Yeah, I think yeah.
So I should have
Really?
picked up the emerald first, huh?
But you still have 2 actions, Harsk.
Can I go back and pick up the emerald?
Yeah, you can use 2 more strides, like stride, get the emerald, stride back.
Okay.
But what if the trap goes off?
Can I do all this striding without striding into the trap?
No, because the emerald is in the trap zone.
Oh,
Where-
okay. In that case,
So if it's armed, you wouldn't have a problem. The question is it armed? I think we're still in a round where I told Mary that you were good for this round.
does that mean it's not armed?
I'm pretty sure it's not armed.
I hate when the DM says, "I'm pretty
No,
sure
no,
it's
like
not armed."
I think I said to Mary that it's definitely not armed.
But you only think you said to Mary that it's definitely not armed.
Well,
Is it legged?
I guess I'm being tricky. Because I'm not sure what I've actually said to you guys already about it. But let's just say, okay, it's not armed. It's not armed. You can stride there and back, get that emerald. You now have an emerald. I don't know if Mary ever removed it from your inventory or not or whatnot.
No, it's still in my inventory.
But I'm not going to take it out of your inventory after the session's
I
over
just
now.
hand it to Mary when I get back with it.
So you guys are all huddled
Shouldn't
up
be
there.
trusted with it anyway.
You have the emerald back. Reunited. It feels so good. There's no kobold in sight. You see a stairwell leading downward.
What are we on now?
Are we still in like initiative or?
You're kind of. I mean, it's up to you. There are no enemies currently in front of you. You could give chase after this.
No
level.
enemies currently in
Or-
front of us. There could be enemies soon behind us.
Yeah, and we were thinking maybe Mary should check the traps.
You just see these stairs
That's
that are
a very good idea.
spiraling. They are spiraling down deeper into the earth. Out of this chamber, going further into whatever this collection of caverns and chambers is.
Should I disable this other trap that's still here, or should we just avoid it and check the traps going downstairs?
Well, I would say we know that one's still there, so let's leave it in case we end up coming back this way and, chasing something or...
Okay. So check the stairs going down the chapter.
All right.
Yeah, because he's a sneaky bugger.
All right. Do a thievery check. All right. I'm sorry. Perception. Perception to see if you notice any traps on the stairs going downward.
Just Mary or everybody?
Everybody.
Mary's like searching for traps.
Okay.
I might do a hero point actually.
Okay.
There's our sneaky DM rolling there.
Let me check something else.
Let me check if this trap is in stealth.
All right. So you're running down the stair, searching for traps as you go. Or you're not necessarily running, you're like easing your way down this spiral staircase. And I'm going to change the music back because you're not actively like murdering anybody.
That's the sign I was waiting for.
Breathe deep.
Hmm.
And you don't see any traps on the stairs. You do hear sounds of bustle from below, scurrying, a little bit of yarking and tittering in the distance. Further down the staircase, you think wherever this kobold trapper has scurried off to, he is not alone.
Okay.
So we're following him down the stairs.
I think so.
Okay, you're gonna follow them all down the stairs. If that's the case, then I will share a new map with you.
Ooh.
It's probably all black now because I haven't moved you guys to that map yet. As you these stairs spiral down deep into the earth before they end in a chamber that looks like it's been prepared specifically to defend against intruders. On one side of the room, a table has been turned on its side to provide cover, while on the other, crates and barrels have been piled up to create a second barrier. You also see that there's a kind of a makeshift barrier of crates that are much like the barrier that you had to like disarm and work your way through to get into that room that had a bunch of all the zombies in it. Another barrier going further down the tunnels beyond this chamber has been set up against the north wall, the north axis of the wall. There's also a western passage leading out of this room, but it is not covered by a barrier.
Any sign of movement?
Because of your perception rolls, and because the kobolds just rolled so shittily, you can tell they're trying to hide behind the crates and barrels and overturned table in this room, but they're failing miserably. You know they're there. They're behind cover at the moment, but you know they're there. So they don't get any like drop sneak attackage on you.
Okay. I mean, wooden crates and tables.
Yeah, these are the same kind of crates that Harsk has been rummaging through to get his dried fish.
So
Very similar to
susceptible
what
fire.
you've seen above. And I'm going to share a little picture of the guy who you chased downstairs, who set like traps on the stairs. Just for fun, because he's pretty and purple.
That's cute. Pass him with a trap.
Oh, buddy, why are you the bad guy?
Okay. Alright, according to the combat tracker, it's asks, so.
Is the map completely blind to all of you?
I can see grey rock, sort of, but I can't see the crates that you described.
Oh, this is so weird. Why is it being mean to me? It's being weird. Oh, I know why.
What the chuff?
Stupid icons were locked. I hate that setting so much. It is the bane of my existence. Can you see things now? Is it getting better?
Yeah.
They can, I can't.
I don't know why you're like...
I don't know how much delay there is. I'm looking at Ekram's Twitch screen, and I can see a lot more on my screen than I can on Twitch. The room is partially lit up for me.
Yeah, that's all.
And I can't move at the moment.
That's all line of sight. I know I can't move you either. I'm trying to figure out what the hell, why it won't let me move you. It's like
I did
really...
something then, and now I can see stuff. I don't understand what I did then.
I don't know why it won't let me move you. God, I'm going to delete your token.
No, don't delete me.
I'm going to drag you into the freaking room.
Alright, I can see the things.
Oh, maybe... Can I disable fog of war? Can I just disable fog of war? That's a problem for future me. Okay, I put you guys in the room because I just want you guys to have some kind of visibility, but the idea is that you are at the top of the stair.
Okay.
You guys are like not totally into the room now. You're like, ooh, peering into the room. And you can tell that there's shit behind all of the tables and the crates and barrels. You know, you hear the little skitterings and yarks and like hushed whispers of them kind of like openly talking about how they need to kill you. And like intruders aren't allowed, shouldn't get any further. I mean, really, technically, I should just make you roll initiative again, shouldn't I? You know
Yeah.
they're there. They know you're there.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not sure they know you're there. Roll stealth checks, everyone. How quiet were you when you came down these stairs?
What's the actual?
Fumbus was singing at the top of his voice.
Okay, so yeah, you were not quiet at all. There's like coming down the stairs. Maria's all like, "Hush you! I'm trying to look for traps." And like Harsk and Fumbus are like, Harsk's like, "What? You're looking
You
for
see
what?
any food?
You're looking for tracks. That's my job." And Fumbus is like, "You should jiggle it a little, you know, like." He's trying to give creative critique here. And you're just all being a little bit too noisy. You're knocking like pebbles down the stairs and stuff, like just dislodging them with your boots. It's obvious you're coming down the stairs. It's obvious they're hiding behind the boxes. So everybody just roll initiative. Because this is a stealthy cluster.
Oh, does that mean I've got to go first again?
Yep.
Oh no, it's alright. Those guys are.
I don't think it's good when the bad guys go first.
That may be the lowest initiative I've ever seen Mary roll. But yeah, they get to go first. So, the Trapmaster guy all purple and cute. He leaps out from behind his crate, and he hurls a... You know, I should have asked you guys your movement order. I'm assuming that Mary is in the front. And I'm going to give you guys light cover because you're still technically in the hallway.
Yeah, because you said we'd peered in. We're just showing there to see the room, yeah?
And he's going to shoot a spear. He's going to throw a spear at Mary. Which misses, because I think I only rolled like a 16. I just noticed something. Okay, never mind. So he throws a spear at you. Then he moves back behind this crate, and he tries to become stealthy.
Does he know it's not as stealthy if the enemy watches him do it?
Well, he's gonna like take... He's gonna try to be stealthy. And he's gonna roll a stealth check.
Peekaboo, I see you.
And it remains to be seen if you guys can detect him later on. Because right now he's hopped behind a crate, he's not immediately visible, and he's very quiet now. Alright. Next guy. And this one, he just kind of scurries forward a little bit, and he's in a corner, flat against a wall. So he's gonna like try to move stealthily as well and become undetectable again. But he's not good at his job. So it's pretty obvious that he's moved into the corner and he's hunching low. So you guys kind of get this, like, this all of your passive perceptions are high enough to notice that this little kobold guy is just crouched in the southeast corner of this little chamber. And now it's Mary's turn.
Right. So do they know we're here? Yeah.
Yeah, they know you're
Yes.
there.
Right. Okay. So I can't stealth.
And you know where two of them are currently.
2. So that's number 1 and the purple guy.
You don't know where the purple guy is right now. You
Right.
only know where the green guys are.
Number 1 and number 2. So I'm gonna head over to number 2 and have a stab with my.
Yeah! And he's like crouching. He's like, look invisible, look invisible, look invisible.
Can't we
Right.
just keep him as pets?
And you slash at him with your beautiful new short sword, and you pierce him right in the face, doing 6 damage.
Yeah.
No sneak attack, but a palpable hit with your first attack.
Yeah. And then I'll move back. No. Do they have an attack of opportunity?
No.
No.
They do not have an attack of opportunity, and you can do things like now take cover and try to hide yourself.
Yes, I'll do that. What do I need to roll?
So you're going to take cover. So position yourself whatever you want to hide behind. And then roll a stealth check. Fumbus. Good meat shield. Roll a stealth check. Alright, that is good enough to beat their passive perception.
Lovely.
So for now, you're undetected.
Super. That's me done.
Funbus, you're up.
Oh, look at this little kobold hiding behind the wood. I'm gonna throw fire at number 1.
All right. Booyah! Now, are you aiming at the table or you're aiming at the kobold? I guess it doesn't matter with a 9 unless you want to use a hero point.
No, I'm just gonna do another attack.
Okay, remember to do minus to attack. And if you're aiming for the kobold, it is going to be -1 because he is behind partial cover.
Okay, then what about if I aim at the table to try and force him out?
Okay, you can aim at the table.
So, do I just drop it in chat?
Yes, and it'll still be the minus the second attack.
Yeah. Oh, suck
But
it.
that's enough, because 10 is all I think you need to like hit an inanimate like object.
Okay, cool.
So that was the actual goal. So you just barely, your alchemist fire clinks off of that, and the table alights and starts to burn, and you hear a little like yeah. Oh, I'm going up in smoke here.
Oh, I hope that's nice and warm.
So
I'm
you
gonna
have
try and take cover as well.
all right.
I'm gonna hide in this corner. So that was a stealth, did you say?
Well, like taking cover is like moving back, like behind some kind of cover. And I think in the corner you're not exactly at this point
Right.
because people can see you. The only reason I say it worked for the other kobold is because you guys weren't actually in the room yet. So we're going into the corner at that brief period of time. That was a blind spot for you guys. Now it's totally not a blind spot for you guys.
Okay.
So you would have to like run around to like, you'd have to dash back behind Mary or something into the hallway.
Yeah, I'm gonna dash back.
So you're like, you can use the rest of your movement because you haven't used all your movement yet, and go in the hallway, and then try to roll a stealth check to see if you can hide. And a 12 is not good enough, so they know that you're in that hallway.
Well, phooey. That's me.
All right. So now that you have, the guy in the corner who is being stabbed by Mary is feeling very stabbed, and he's like, "Oh, hiding in this corner was not a good idea." He also, so he like scurries out of the way and takes cover behind the barrels, and he tries to hide out.
Oh.
Oh, did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that showed up in chat.
Oh, really? I thought maybe it was like blind. Okay. So unless you guys can roll a perception trying to spot him of 27, he's pretty much hidden again. You don't know where that guy is.
Well, if I get a nat 20.
Yeah.
Oh.
So none of you guys so far know where.
We add our rolls together?
You only know that the guy who's behind the burning bench, you know he's there. But the other two, you've lost track of where they are in this room.
Have I lost track of the one who's directly north of me because he is showing up on my map?
You know he's there. You know he's there. Actually, let me hide the ones you don't know are there. So the one that's directly north of you, he's behind the burning table, and you know he's there. He's kind of he's yarking about the burning table for one.
Okay.
And it's now your turn, so that makes it nice and convenient. He is partially behind a burning cover with this burning table at the moment because he hasn't had a chance to run away from the fire yet. But you know he's there.
Would I be putting myself in danger of getting burns if I kind of stepped around and took a whack at him?
No, not if you're careful.
I did not care for your tone. That sounded a little bit too facetious, like, not if you're careful, like, but if I'm not careful.
Just don't critical fail.
No gods, no glory, roast kobold for dinner. For the flames to burn you into dinner. Where's my dwarven war axe? There it is. So I don't have to roll with disadvantage because now I absolutely see him, correct?
You absolutely see him. There's no penalty.
Oh wait, that's damage. Never mind. Which one?
Wait,
Oh,
wait, let me give him back 11 health. Jeez. It should be like, what, the +6 to hit?
Yep, I was trying to drag the little symbol instead of, oh.
Oh no! You can hero point it though.
Okay, I'm hitting him again. Oh, can I hero point that?
Yes, you can totally hero point that. Redo, do over.
Okay. So now I get to do it over. What's the +6?
As a +6, yeah.
Yay.
Much better. 18 hit.
Hey.
You hatchet him.
I like my first roll, but can I use my first roll, the 9 instead?
The first one I think you did was like 11 damage.
Oh yeah, I forgot to. Oh right, that was my attack. Was that 9?
7 damage onto this guy. Whacka whacka, and he's like, oof. So that's your first attack.
Okay, I am going to, and the next one is a +1.
Yes.
Oh, rolled over from 20, you jerk.
It did, yeah.
Do you have any hero points left?
Yeah, I have all my hero points left, so yeah, I want this guy.
I've lost track of how many everybody has used.
I've only got one left.
I've got 2 left.
No, 11 is not enough.
Oh, actually, I don't. Let me. Okay, I'm using one more. Oh, for.
Wait, you haven't.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
Critical miss. So you rear back and you try to do one more hit on this guy because after that first taste of blood, you're like, I just want more. But you swing so wide, you knock off, you trip off kilter, and do a dexterity saving throw.
Oh boy.
This is me trying to discern whether or not you land on the kobold when you trip.
Okay, where is the number for the dexterity saving throw?
Oh, I'm reflex. Sorry, reflex saving throw.
Reflex.
All right, 16 is good enough because it was going to be a DC 15.
Phew!
You trip and slip, and you fall, but you're enough in control of your body. This is like a miracle of harshness that you
really
manage to kind of angle your weight so you land. You fall toward the kobold.
Okay, if I have this much control on my body, is it possible for me to land on the kobold? I am considerably larger and heavier than the kobold and inflict massive bludgeoning damage on him by landing on him.
No, I'm gonna say you're both prone on the ground now, by the burning table.
How about if I kick out my leg while I'm prone and try to kick the table onto the kobold?
No, that's almost like a total, because you fumbled. This was a critical failure, okay?
Okay. Dwarf's gotta try, you know?
Alright. So the option to land on the kobold was kind of like let's throw a bone here. But you guys are both prone on the ground behind this burning table. Now you have complete cover, both of you. At currently from anybody else in this room. But you are prone. And basically getting to know each other better. willingly or not.
Have you ever heard of consent, you little reptile?
You fell on me, Gark! So, stealthy kobold is stealthy. And let me roll a stealth. Mary, what is your passive perception?
What do you mean? Plus perception. Plus
On your
7.
front page, what is it +7?
Um,
That would mean your passive perception is 17. I was just checking that it's 17 and not 18.
yeah, 7. Yeah.
Okay. The kobold that Harsk landed on is now kind of grappled technically, and they're gonna do like a, because there's got the weight of Harsk's body on top of them. They're gonna do an escape to try to get out from underneath Harsk and get back to their feet and run away. So I'm gonna roll a strength check for them. And they're terrible at that. So they're just wriggling because they're little. They're like a turtle on its back it's like a turtle on its back underneath Harsk's body, basically. The kobold's just wriggling, trying to get free, like, oh, let me out! But they aren't getting any purchase. They aren't escaping. They're still like prone underneath the weight of Harsk. Mary, it's your turn.
Right, so I'm sneaky, yes?
Yes.
Or I was at the end of the last round.
You are hidden.
So I'm gonna move up here and I'm gonna attack that dude.
The little prone kobold that's wriggling underneath Harsk.
Yes.
Okay,
But
just
I will do it in such a way that I don't damage Hart.
okay, just don't critically fail.
Right, here goes.
Breathe in, Hask.
Oh, damn it. I should have rolled it on him, but I didn't.
But
Oops.
25 is good. 25 hits the kobold. And you do 8 damage.
Do I get a sneak attack as well?
You do get sneak attack because you were hidden.
Where is my sneak attack?
Just roll a 1d6. Okay, so Mary, you tippy toe up to this wriggling Harsk, or like Harsk is just kind of like lying there like oof on top of this wriggling little kobold, and you sneak up, you take a look, you kind of judge the situation, do a little bit of mathematical calculation, take your short sword and just stab it right into the kobold's ear, and he wriggles one more time and then just goes one last little and is dead.
There you go, Hask. I've killed your dinner for you.
And Harsk is looking down below, and there's just like this dead halfling there, and suddenly the wriggling stopped, and you're like, hey, that was kind of nice.
That's disturbing.
It's like one of those vibrating chairs. A vibrating chair, I say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mary, is there something else you want to do?
I don't think so, no.
Because you've moved and you've done an attack, but you can
Shall I
take
go
cover and
stealthy?
hide again.
I will, I'll do that.
So you take cover behind the burning table, or somewhere else.
No, behind the burning table sounds good. Which way is behind?
Where Harsk is.
Where I am, where Hask is, man.
And roll a stealth check. All right, it's not quite good enough. Maybe it's the fire. Maybe it's Harsk, kind of like grunting on the ground or something, or like the death toll of the kobold that you just assassinated. But apparently their eyes on you, and they've noticed that you're over there now.
Okie doke. And that is my turn.
So you are behind partial cover, but you do not get sneak attack damage currently under current
Right.
condition. Fumbus.
Okay. I would like to move into the room and search for the other kobolds that I know are in there somewhere. So, perception.
You can search, roll a perception check. You don't, you spot where Mary and Harsk are, but you
Right.
can't tell where anybody else is in this room.
Then, going with the assumption they're hiding behind something in this room, I'm going to lob another fire flask at the barrels to the northeast directly.
Okay. Just roll an attack roll in the chat window, see if you get a 10. Alright, you do. So now those are on fire as well.
Does anything pop out?
Let me do a... I'm going to do a will saving throw on these kobolds. Now that things are on fire around them. DC 15. Alright. One of them is shaken, and you hear a little yark where one of them... Not the trappy guy, but the other generic kobold. You're aware of where he is towards the north now, because he lets out a yark as the flames erupt on the barrels he's hiding behind.
Okay, so if I throw an acid flask at him, is he partially covered?
He is behind full cover right now, but you could... you have moved... You've taken... Oh, wait. You only have one action left. So... You could throw at him, and it would be like, -2 to hit him. Because he's behind cover.
Okay, well, I can either do that or join my comrades
Or
behind the burning table.
Yeah, or you could stride over to where your comrades are. And I know we're like running late now, so I'm like, ooh, do we like try to end the combat, like get to the end of this combat, or do we pause in the middle of combat? How are you guys?
It depends on how long it's going to be, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, you have 2 opponents in this room.
Right, if I hide behind there, is that a good place to just park
Yeah.
it till next time then?
Chill behind the partial cover of the burning bench.
Yes.
And that's your turn. You're all huddling together
For warmth.
for warmth
Dungeons are cold.
behind the burning bench. Yep, it's cozy there.
It's warm. We're huddling together. We got a nice fire. We're just having a nice, cozy evening around the fire. Don't judge.
All we need now is s'mores.
Cozy togetherness. So this the kobold runs out from behind these benches, the burning things, because it's on fire. Runs forward a little bit. I'm gonna say it runs forward and tries to just attack Mary head on with its short sword. It hits her with a 26. Only does 1 damage. That's really crappy.
It's fine for me.
It wasn't hidden before, so it doesn't get any sneak attack damage. I'm very sad about that. And he's kind of like, oh, well, that sucked. So he's going to step back 1, and he's going to shoot a crossbow at you instead. This time he's gonna aim for Hars. Hits with a dirty 20.
Ow. You could at least have watched that 20.
And you're still prone, and that gave you a -2 for them to hit you too, and they still hit. Okay. And that does 6 damage to Harsk. And they look back, they want to kind of hide. They really want to hide, but everything's on fire except for this barrier next to them, and they're like looking at the barrier, they're kind of just shrug, and they're like, ah, nuts! And that's their turn. Harsk, it is your turn.
I'm still prone, right?
You are still prone.
Okay, I get up.
And there's like Fumbus and Mary standing over you, dead kobold under you. You stand up. Let me take the prone.
I take a very surreptitious nibble from the kobold, and then I stand up.
You are no longer prone.
And I have a little food in my belly. Okay, so... I'm just wondering how much risk I'm putting myself if I walk up to this kobold and smack him in the face.
No risk, no reward.
Good point. I sort of bend down and take another little nibble of the kobold. I might have stuffed some kobold flesh in my pockets for a snack later. My name is Harsk. You have not killed my father as far as I know, but prepare to die anyway.
Just to be on the safe side.
Oh,
And with a 22, you hit.
Take that.
And, let's see. You do 5 damage to that kobold, and he's looking pretty rough.
I have another attack, correct?
Yes.
And it's a +1?
Yes.
I take another little, just reach in my pocket and pop another little sliver of kobold flesh in my mouth and chew it for strength. And I swing again.
I mean, I feel that would freak the kobold out. You know, the fact that he's chomping on his mate.
Yes. Does that, like, maybe give me a +2 instead of a +1?
No, it doesn't.
Bummer. Okay. Well,
You can hero point to try to roll that again.
what the heck?
It's only a +1 to hit, so it's like kind of, you only have like a 25% chance of hitting them. Yeah. So your second attack doesn't land. You could try to grapple them or something, or try to attack again with like the penalty to hit.
Even if I use another weapon, I still get the penalty, right? Like if I switch to my hatchet, I still am at a minus.
You still get the multi-attack penalty.
Okay.
You could try to like grapple them.
Yes. What do I need to roll for that?
Make an athletics check.
Oh, that was almost an 18.
Yeah, I thought it was an 18. It looked.
It's like,
Yeah.
what is up with the dice?
That was weird.
And I'm going to do. Let me see if they do their thing higher than.
That sounded a little weird.
I mean, contested, like, because they don't have any bonus to their athletics, so they might roll less than a 10, and they do. So they're grappled. Hugs. So you're now hugging this kobold that is pretty injured.
Okay, and just to add insult to injury, I'm going to stare directly into his eyes and take a big bite of the kobold meat from my pocket.
Oh,
Nasty.
And I'm going to lick my lips and smile when I do it. Let all the juices run down my chin into my beard. I can clean that up later, right?
oh, gross. All right, that's your
I'm a
turn.
dwarf. We're good at gross.
So running like previous episode until now, a spear comes flying out of nowhere towards Fumbus's head.
Bumbus, duck!
And it hits with a dirty 20. And you realize that other kobold was hidden behind the barrels, and you didn't realize where they were, and they came and tried to get you. They do 7 damage originally to you, Fumbus, but because they were hidden, they get some sneak attack damage.
Oh no.
And I haven't been applying all the flat-footedness things going on here. But 2 more damage because of sneak attack damage on you, Fumbus.
Uh-oh.
And now they're going to duck into the hallway, and they're going to try to hide. But they rolled poorly. They don't match your passive perception, so you guys all know that where they're just inside the hallway there. Can you see them on the map?
Yes.
Good. Okay. Now, that is their turn. Mary, you're up. Harsk is hugging one kobold to the northeast of you, and then you know there's another guy in the hallway.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and finish off the one that House is hugging.
This is a recurring theme. Like, Harsk is just restraining everybody, and you just walk up to them and stab them to death.
Waltz in and take all the credit.
Let me double check what the grapple does to them. I'm not sure what it does. They're restrained. I think they might be a disadvantage or something.
It says they are flat-footed, immobilized, and can only escape attack.
All right. So if they're flat-footed, you're +2 to hit them. Let's see if that actually works. Just go ahead and roll your attack on them, and it should be like +10 to hit. That definitely hits. No, wait.
Right.
Oh,
No.
wait. You rolled a 6. It's 16. Let me double check and see if a 16 hits. But you could also hero point. Yeah, 16 does not hit, but hero point.
I'll
see.
do that, yeah. Oh, it's even worse. What the actual chuff?
I'm sorry.
The hero points have turned.
I mean, you can try to use your second thing to attack. It's not going to be as good of a bonus, but they still are flat-footed.
Even worse.
Okay, apparently the Fantasy Grounds dice hate you.
Yeah.
Are you out of hero points at this point?
No, I have one left. I'll use it.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey, that's some love. Hey. So you managed to stab it. And because they were flat-footed, you got sneak attack. But hey, you killed him anyhow.
Yay.
It's an assassination nation.
There you go, House.
And-
More dinner.
Yeah. So Mary, you walk up to this kobold restrained in Harsk's embrace. Another stab in the ear, and they go limp with like a little gasp in Harsk's arms.
So wait, I have a dead kobold in my arms? Like dinner just literally fell into my lap?
Yes, they just it's as if they swooned.
Mary's mission is to feed you.
If I put this down, Mary, you want to cast, or wait, is it Mary or Fumbus that casts Fireball?
Fumbus lobs balls of fire.
I was just thinking, could you lob a ball of fire and cook it nicely for me? Because sometimes, raw diets are great, but sometimes you want something a little more class, like kobold flambéed by a ball of fire.
I look at the flaming table and I go, that'd be better.
Oh, right, the table. Silly me. Okay.
So Fumbus, it's your turn. You know that there is a kobold in the hallway, and everybody else seems to be dead.
I'm going to take an elixir of healing.
Okay, so you use one action to quaff a potion.
Yeah. How the chuff do I do that?
I think you have
There we go.
on your
Sorry,
last
found it.
page. I think I set that one up to draggy on you, maybe.
Yay.
And that's a plus. Is +1 to that? Okay, so it is 4 total. Cool.
Yeah.
Did I just
All
burp
right.
on stream? I think I just burped.
I didn't catch it.
Hi everyone, I just burped.
So is that guy
So that's one action.
covered?
You can still move, and you still have 2 more actions.
Right. So is
That-
that guy
He is
where
covered,
is?
but you know where he is.
So if I move there, do I have a clear shot at him?
He's partially covered, but like if you're standing right here in front of the burning thing, or you got it right next to him, he's straight on, not covered. And as long as you don't critically fail, you don't have to worry about that burning table.
Okay, I'm going to throw an acid flask at him.
All right, 12 misses.
So that's my
So you
second
throw
action.
You
yeah?
throw the flask, and it hits the wall beside the hallway instead.
I would like to take cover.
Acid just stripping down the wall. So what? You hop over the bench and just resume cover.
Yes. Do I have to do a stealth roll for that? Look, there's another room there.
You kind of use your movement to attack him. I don't know. I would say you can stealth. I'll say you can use the rest of your movement to get back where you are, and you can stealth to try to hide yourself.
I mean, I don't really mind if I'm behind cover. That's fine. I didn't know if stealth was part of the take cover bit.
It's kind of like you take cover, but then once you're behind cover, you can try to hide, become hidden, and that's the stealth check.
All right, then I will not bother doing that. I'll just stick with what I'm doing.
That's the way I'm interpreting it, is you leap behind something where it's not obvious where you are. Then you try to become undetected, and that's the stealth check.
All right, that's me.
Harsk! Ahoy!
Okay.
You can see over this burning bench, so there is kind of partial cover between you and them, but you see in the hallway ahead of you, there is a kobold.
Oh, okay. Oops. I need to zoom back out because I was holding my control key and then I did weird things with the map because I was scrolling and it made the map like really huge. Because I'm not seeing it on my map.
Oh, do I have him hidden still? No, I don't. Wait.
Do I need to move a bit?
It's because he's in the hallway. Can you see him now?
There we go.
He's
Okay.
technically in the hall. The map, it's because of the line of sight rules. They're like treating him like he's like totally. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see him
So-
now. I've gone behind the table
I'm
again.
going to walk up
Yeah.
to this kobold.
It's all the line of sight stuff. This is
Oh,
why
you
I
mean-
don't usually mess with that, because it's too draconian for my tastes.
Well, this dwarven war axe has got to do some real damage at some point today. I nearly accidentally rolled it on myself.
Oh no.
Here goes my last hero point.
Big number,
Actually,
no whammies.
hang on just a sec. I have an idea. What is the dice the color of kobold blood? I was hoping for a pre-made one, so I'll just go with
I think it's probably purple
that works.
to match his ears.
Oh, whoops. Take that off. I just used the wrong one by mistake.
That's not the right dice. Wait, I think, did you roll damage on yourself? What?
I may have.
It's 4 damage to somebody, but I can't tell who. Oh, it's to you.
Well,
yeah.
no, I rolled damage before I rolled I rolled the wrong dice
you
and I
rolled 4
rolled it on
damage on
myself. So
yourself.
yes, I'm actually only
Okay.
4 damage. That's weird. It says
21
I have
hits.
7 damage.
I just checked. I gave you 4 back.
Okay, because I thought was only 1 damage, so... But I might have missed something. Okay, take this, you little... Oh, for crying out loud.
All right. So you whack him with your hand axe. You whack a little and you hit the kobold. Your axe doesn't sink in deep, but you do 4 damage. And the kobold snarls at you and goes like, ah! Ah!
Do I have another attack?
You do.
You know what? It would be a plus... Second one or the third one, the number?
It's +1, but it kind of like drops you down to like you only have about 10% chance of being successful hitting them at this point.
Oh, okay. Could I try to grapple him again?
You can.
That's athletics?
Yeah.
Athletics, there it is. Let's dance. Uh-oh.
It's enough. It's enough. You grab him, and he's wriggling in your arms now. You've got yourself a kobold.
Watch where those feet are kicking. Your feet are very... assuming I'm like picking him up and wrapping my arms around him, his feet are level with a very sensitive area.
Alright, so you have a restrained kobold on your hand, and that's going to be your turn?
That is my turn. Can I nibble on his ear? And I don't mean that I mean like in a food way, not get it on with a kobold way.
Just as a free action, you can nibble on him.
Okay. I will pull on my dice and...
Nibble is a free action.
Yes.
Doesn't do any damage, just kind of like, freaks him
Makes
out
the
a little.
kobold very uncomfortable.
The goal is more intimidation.
He's like, yeah! Now, he's going to use his turn to try to escape, and I'm going to double check what that is. You rolled a 13 before?
Yep.
And he wriggles and wriggles and manages to slip free with a 15. And escapes. And he uses 1 action to do that. He like leaps out of your arms. And then he runs up the stairs. And he runs out of sight. Back up to the floor above.
Well, rats.
Bugger.
So he's out of sight again. Mary, it's your turn.
Are we chasing him?
I mean, probably at some point, but if he's run off, I'd be tempted to have a route around.
What in here?
I don't know, what do you guys think?
Oh, thinking is not my strong point.
Also, I am thinking this would be a
Mary-
good place to stop.
Do a perception check. Actually, all of you can do perception check.
Oh my god.
Hang on, cat lying on my mouse cord.
Okay. So you can, Harsk and Mary, you can hear, you can tell like the kobold has escaped out of Harsk's grasp, and it goes running up the stairs. You can hear the sound of its feet going scurry, 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 scurry. And then you suddenly hear this patoing sound, like a massive onslaught of spears, and a little... And you realize that the guy ran away, and he triggered that big spear trap that you left running.
Uh-oh.
It was set,
Shucks.
and he's just gotten hit by it.
Yay.
And I'm going to say that spear trap poetically murdered him, so that we can end out this session. The damage wasn't technically quite enough, but I think that's poetic justice right there. That the big spear trap has managed, it's come to the end of its cycle and reset, and by the time he ran up there and stepped on the pressure plate, an onslaught of spears pummeling this kobold trap master and brought him to his untimely end.
Cool.
I think that's poetic justice.
Yeah, definitely.
You guys have gotten a lot of experience for the stuff that you've done today. I think at least 200, which means you're over half the way to getting to level 2. I think you're like about 600 to 700 experience at this point, and you need
Cool.
1,000 to get level 2. We will like pick up further exploration after this room, where you go from this room now that you've killed everything.
And eaten some of it.
Yeah, and eaten some of it, nibbled a little. You can search the bodies and stuff next time. But next time we play will be in June.
Right.
We are over halfway through now because you've descended to the 2nd floor. Huzzah!
Yay.
So I think
Cool.
it'll be about 3 more sessions for us to get to the end of the beginner's box. And our next playtime will be on June 4th.
Okay.
June the 4th. Oh, wait, wrong month.
I think that's what, Flag Day? Flag Day? Is that Flag Day? What day is that? I guess maybe June 4th is just June 4th. Nobody cares about June 4th.
Yeah, June 14th is Flag Day. I don't know why I know stuff like that.
I don't know.
It's not like I've ever really celebrated Flag Day, you know?
And-
I mean, nothing against it, just,
Yeah, it's a day of flag.
Okay.
If flags excite you, it's probably your day, and that's all right. Yay flag. Okay, so our next Pathfinder game will be June 4th, and for you D&D people, our next D&D game is Saturday May 20th.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. I think that went
Thank
fairly
you.
well. It ran a little bit
I
long at
agree.
the end, but hey, you killed a lot of kobolds.
Ate some too.
Ate some
Yes,
too.
you did.
Yay!
Yes.
I appreciate that Mary and Fumbus are not into eating kobolds because more for me.
Mhm. Yeah.
Although my kobold loving alter ego, in-person character, real person, not character, is horrified by Harsk, but
I will
Playing a part.
say that now that you're in this room, there is a slightly stronger stench of fish.
Oh,
Like the balance has shifted a little bit to more fish, less kobold in the immediate area for Harsk.
I like the sound of
So
this.
things are looking up a little bit. All right. Well, thank you
All right.
for playing
Catch
today.
you next time.
Happy the rest of
Bye.
your Sunday, and see you next time.
Thank you, guys.
Everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, bye.